Hi Maria, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Well, thank you for coming. Um, I know we talked on the phone a little bit, but just to go through everything again, I'm Katie. I'm an MFT trainee. Um, Welcome to therapy. I'm happy that you've decided to come in today.
Yeah, thank you.
So just before we get started, I wanted to just go over some housekeeping stuff with you, just some, points you have to go through. So basically what I do here is I work with couples, families, individuals, and we talk about, anxiety, relationship issues, and my job is just to help you start to feel a little bit better about, whatever's going on in your life or whatever you want to talk about. That sound good?
Yes.
Um, so how often do you think you would like to meet for therapy?
I think I would be how my schedule is working out. I think bi-weekly would be good.
Okay, perfect. And we'll just, same as today, just meet at my office. And after our meeting, we can discuss fees and that kind of stuff. Just some more stuff. Confidentiality. So nothing is going to leave this room. So I'm not going to go around talking about you, and you don't have to obviously discuss anything that happens in here. There are some limits to that, though. This would be if there is abuse of a child or an elder, or if you are, think that you might hurt yourself or someone else, then I'm a mandated reporter. I'm going to have to tell someone about it. Sound okay?
Yes.
Cool. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I feel like I have some things that I have to talk about today.
Okay. What is there? Well, like something specific you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I feel like I'm having trouble just going with the flow of things. Sometimes when things that go out of my control, my reach, that I kind of feel this tension in my life because I tend to want everything to work in a linear fashion, but it doesn't work that way, and I need to. I have trouble dealing with that.
Is there a specific time that you feel like this has happened?
Well, yes, like it's a everyday thing sometimes where I have things planned out in my head of how things are gonna work and how I'm gonna work according to my time, and then if something comes up and disturbs all of that, I feel a lot of tension.
Okay, and where do you feel tension exactly?
I feel it in my head. It's mostly like around my head area.
Okay.
Because because I think I tend to overthink or think the A, B, and C is not gonna get done because now this came up, and I need to manage that better because I understand that nothing is gonna be work that way sometimes, but it's not. It's something that I need to work on.
Yeah. So it sounds like logically you know that not everything is going to work out exactly how you want, but in reality, it's a little bit different.
Yes, and I feel like I need to be more tolerant of things being that way, and dealing with other people too, because I feel like I need to have a plan of things. For instance, in my relationship, when something doesn't go according, then I'll have like a little outburst with my significant other. Not to like a point where we're like it's like a discourse, but he probably feels my attention of how it's like coming about in like how I'm feeling physically when things don't go as according to my plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's something that I need to work on, definitely.
So is this this like tension over not having things go exactly your way? Has this been something that is been happening for like a long time? So like since you were younger, or is this more of a recent development?
I think, thinking back, I think I'm always been that way, but as life becomes more stressful, there's so many things on my plate, I feel like I get um, more like inclined to feel stressed out or out of control.
Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me your like current situation right now? So just like um, you know, your day to day, who you're living with, your family, that kind of stuff, just so I can get a better feel for you.
Yes. Well, right now I am a grad student and I work full time and I'm in a long term committed relationship and those are my major, three facets of my life that are like really important to me and a lot of my time is dealing with managing all of them,
Mm-hmm.
because they're all equally as important to me. Although there's times where I'm gonna have to give myself more to, school and work. Work is always gonna be an important thing. So those two things I feel like are really like giving me this sense of stress. My relationship is good. It's really good. I'm happy about that. I don't worry about how this is gonna affect it because we're both pretty stable and pretty busy. So that helps me, and knowing that he's also has like the thing that he needs to do, and I don't feel bad about not spending too much more time with him, and feeling guilty. So that's good. He understands I'm in a like really high stress situation right now, which I mean I'm gonna have to manage it and as it comes because in addition to that I'm gonna have practicum on my plate, so that's gonna become trying, but I know I can do it. I know that I can exhaust myself to a certain point and be still able to manage it. But I don't want to go through the emotions of having these little like surges of anxiety and like stress. I need to be able to manage those as they come because I'm very much future thinker. I think in lists and in tasks and also just very linear. So that's how I've always been. I feel, it's although it serves a purpose, it has made me a very highly anxious person and dealing with things that are thrown at me that I didn't expect sometimes. So that's one of my biggest faults, or I can't call it a defect. I mean, it's just how it is, but that's part of a facet of who I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds to me that you have a lot on your plate right now. I know you said you're in school and you're starting practicum soon and a relationship and full-time work. It's not surprising at all that you would be as stressed out. as you say you are. And you said that you are more of like a planner and like a linear thinker. Can you describe that for me a little bit? Like, give me an example.
Yeah. So I have, a calendar. I keep everything that's gonna be scheduled throughout the month, which, it's helpful. But I also need to maybe narrow it down a bit. Smaller steps, because I see the bigger picture, and I always do. But I feel like I need to focus more on narrowing it down, because then I'll get overwhelmed, and that's how I feel that's how I create my sense of control, because I'm really I think I'm a controlling person in that sense of wanting to have things go my way, and I know it's not feasible to think that way. It's just a pattern that I've had, and it's been ongoing. So it serves me a purpose, but at the same time, it's creating more emotional, ups and downs, like stress and anxiety.
So I know you talked about narrowing down your planning and calendar and use and stuff. What would that look like for you? So if you could ideally have the world look exactly how you would want it, what would that be?
I think I would want to focus on a day-to-day basis, as the day comes, and being prepared for things that are not going to go my way too. Okay, well, letting it go. I need to let things go, because I hold on to it, and I'm like, oh, it didn't go as planned. And I'm like, the time I start thinking about that, I can be thinking, better, more positively, things are still going to go, we're still going to get to that point, but, this came up.
Yeah. So when things don't go as planned, how do you react to that? I know you said you get stressed out, but can you just walk me through how that looks for you?
Okay, so at work, something comes up, I have a meeting, something comes up, I do get an immediate physiological response, and I kind of feel I beat myself up for not it coming out, but more now how am I gonna manage this stress I'm feeling, and then go ahead and deal with that.
Yeah.
I do it. I do it, but there's a lot of energy beforehand, thinking about how when something just came up.
Mm-hmm. So right now, how do you manage that stress?
I feel I need to have more things in place. I know I take my time. I walk. I get out of my office and I walk and reflect and think more more open about things, not so rigid about how things are supposed to go. And I think it works because I need to get myself out of the way that I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
It does work. It has worked, but I need to think about the things that I have in place.
Mm-hmm. And through therapy and through our sessions, we can definitely work on giving you more tools for you to use to manage your stress, if you think that would be helpful. But right now, so you do have ways that you de-stress, but how often do you think you actually use them?
Not as often as I should. because I all jump to immediate like this autonomic response, like a super like stress. But if I can like pinpoint and like focus on when it happens right there and there, okay, let me use this right now so I can feel less, less apt to feeling this way. Because although it's something about my stuff, but I don't want it to affect my relationship with others.
Yeah.
I'm working with people. I mean, that's my money. This is who I am. I need to present myself very adjusted. And when things are thrown at me, that's how life is. So definitely, that's awesome. I need to work on that.
So it sounds like to me, even in trying to manage your stress, you're wanting to be in control of that situation. So like you were saying, I need to know the way to manage this response. So it sounds like overall control is a big deal for you.
Yes, more and more I'm finding that that's the case. That I need to be able to foresee or know immediate things that are going to come up, and that's not how things work. So I need to learn to go ahead and let it flow as things come, and let it just be.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that in general you are successful even when you tell yourself, I'm just gonna let things happen as they come?
Yeah, because it does. I mean, it's still things. I'm still gonna do what I have to do. But it makes it easier when I'm just more okay, that this is going on. I can deal with it and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to remind myself of when this thing went wrong, and I still was take it more relaxed or more positive way, that it's still gonna I'm still gonna produce the same results as long as I'm still organized with my life.
Mm-hmm.
But the control thing, I need to unravel it, because it's just creating more concerns or issues.
Definitely. So when you say you want to unravel the control, does it feel like this situation is really, I guess, tangled for you, and it's a lot? Does that sound right?
Yeah, because I feel like it creates all of this control thing. Is what creates my anxiety, and it's not alleviating things. I know that I can be organized, but I don't have to be controlling. Those are two. You know what I mean? So it does take a big part of how I run my life, and how I react to certain situations, and I don't feel like it's helpful in terms of my relationships with others and such.
Definitely. Well, it sounds like already you have a lot of insight into this problem. You just may lack some of the tools to put it into action.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, because I can tell you so much about how I, all of the issues that it comes with, but it seems like I do need help in that area.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is definitely something that we can work on in future sessions. We're coming to the end of our time right now, so we can continue this discussion next week. If you have any thoughts about this, you want to, bring them up next week, definitely write them down, or you can, get in contact with me if you need to. I am really excited to help you work through this.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me before we end?
No, it's pretty clear. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you next week.
Great, thank you.